Good day, guys. So today we're going to discuss joint probability distributions to be reported by my partner, Princess Hart, and me. So let's go. Lesson outline. So in this video, we're going to discuss two or more random variables, and under that are joint probability distributions, marginal probability distribution, conditional, and more than two random variables. We will also discuss linear functions of random variable and general functions of random variables. So by the end of the lesson, you'll be able to one, use joint probability mass functions and joint probability density functions to calculate probabilities. Number two is to calculate marginal and conditional probability distribution from joint probability distribution. Calculate means and variances for linear combinations of random variables and normally distributed random variables. Lastly, use the distribution of general function of a random variable. So let's start. So under two or more random variables, we have these four subtopics, right? Joint probability, marginal, conditional, and more than two random variables. We're going to start with joint probability distribution. So what's a joint probability distribution? So according to this, in general, if x and y are two random variables, the probability distribution that defines their simultaneous behavior is called a joint probability distribution. The joint probability distribution of two random variables is sometimes referred to as the bivariate probability distribution or bivariate distribution of random variables. So basically, it's telling us that two events are happening together and the probabilities affect each other. So, for example, is two coins. When you're flipping two coins together simultaneously, so the probability of getting heads and getting tails on the other coin, so those are joint probability. So we have here a discrete random variable. So na-discuss na to last time. Discrete random variables are finite or may known limit yung number of possible outcomes. One way to describe joint probability distribution of two discrete random variables is through a joint probability mass function, which is the function of x and y is equals to the probability of x is equals to x and y is equals to y. So the joint probability mass function of discrete random variables x and y denoted as function of xy of x and y satisfies the following. First, this one, the function of x and y or the probability of x and y should never be negative. It must be greater than or equal to 0. Siyempre probability yan, right? So, yes. Number 2, the summation of the function of xy is equals to 1. So, as we all know, is probability. So, the summation of all the possible outcomes should be equal to 1. And lastly, this one, or the main function of the joint probability as we discussed sa banggit ko earlier, this means that the two events are happening simultaneously or happening together. So, I will give example later. So, for continuous random variable naman, we are using different method to determine the probability. Since ang continuous ay infinite, or it doesn't have a definite possible number of outcomes, we have here what we call a joint probability density mass function, density function. So, it means ikina-calculate yung area under a curve or the volume ng three-dimensional graph. So, kung ano man yung under ito, kung ano man yung nandito sa baba, yun yung probability niya. That's why we have here integration. So, same lang to nung sa discrete earlier, that the probability should never be equal to 0. Should never be non-negative. It must always be positive. There's no negative area or volume, I mean. Next is here this means that the summation of probabilities is also equals to 1. And for any region R, yes, ganun lang rin yan. Katulad lang yun nung sa discrete random variable. Next is we have marginal probability distribution. The individual probability distribution of a random variable is referred to as its marginal probability distribution. In general, the marginal probability distribution of x can be determined from the joint probability distribution of x and other random variables. So dito, it means that we're going to calculate the specific or the probability of an event given na yung dalawa ay simultaneous na naganap. So, example, here, in a discrete random variables, so, ay nakalimutan ko sabihin kanina, ang pag-discuss pala ngayon, ang pag-discuss pala ng topics dito is discrete and continuous, and discrete and continuous in different probability distributions kasi kailangan matakal yung bawat isa sila. So here, marginal distribution. The joint probability distribution of x and y, ito po yan, yung tinutukoy. Ito po yung joint probability. Ito yung kaganinang example. This is the joint probability mass function. So, pwede mo siyang ilagay dito sa table na ito. We have here the x and we have here also the y. So, the probability of getting 2 given a 3 is like this. 0.1. Alright? So, parang yun yung example kanina sa joint probability distribution. So, ganyan lang siya. Specific, kadali. But in this, we're going to discuss marginals. So, we're just going to get the probability of, for example, this one, given all of this. So, we can use the joint probability distribution to determine the marginal probability distribution of x. Kasi nga itong marginal is nakabase ito sa joint probability distribution. So, for example, the probability of getting 3 is given by the probability of x is equals to 3 such that probability of x is equals to 3, y is equals to 1. Wait lang, parang mali yung example. Ay, tama pala. Yes. So, ito tayo dito. So, we're going to find the probability of 3. This one. That means we're going to get the sum of getting a 3 given all of y. So basically, ayan, katulad nito probability of getting x is equals to 3, when y is 1, x is 3 when y is 2, x is 3 when y is 3, and x is 3 when y is 4. So the summation of that is the marginal probability distribution, which is, according to here, 0.55. So ganun lang siya. So, baka maisip niyo, hindi ba to conditional? No, because sa conditional probability distribution, we're just going to get the probability of something given something. So, it's not, para discuss. Hindi to conditional kasi baka maisip niyo conditional to. The probability of getting 3 when y is 1. So, no. Sa conditional, ito lang yun, specifically, yan lang yun. Hindi kasama lahat nitong subsets. Hindi to kasama. Sa conditional, ito lang. What's the probability of getting 3 when y is equals to 1? Ganun lang siya. Hindi siya equal sa probability of getting a 3. Okay. So, let's proceed. Sa continuous random variable naman, ayan siya. Oh my goodness. In the continuous case, an integral replaces the summation of the outcomes. If the joint probability density functions of random variable x and y is the function of x equals to y, the marginal probability density function of x and y are the following. Yes, this one, and this one. So, madali lang pala to. Mag-integrate mo lang yung function mo with respect to y. So, parang magiging constant lang dito sa x. And the probability of getting a y given x. So, baliktaran lang naman siya ng kabila. Kung gusto mong kunin yung probability of getting a y. So, balik lang natin. Ayan. This is the, here we have your dimensional probability distribution of y. So, ang summation ay pag ganun, papunta doon. Yes, papunta doon. Summation ay papunta doon. And sa baba naman ay marginal probability distribution of x. This one. So, ang summation naman ng probabilities ay downwards. And, again, ulitin ko lang, we have here the joint probability distribution. Ito yung joint probability distribution. Baka makalimutan niyo. Yan. So, diyan pinababasehan lahat ng other probability distribution. So, madali lang, right? Kala kong mahirap siya. Pero mahirap ito kung continuous since anyways, di naman to masyado nating magagamit since ang sa research naman ay almost finite and definite naman ang samples. So, if you're going to predict something, you're not going to use these density functions. Or maybe you will. You don't know. Next is the conditional probability distribution. So, na-discuss na to last time. Ang na-discuss last time is conditional probability. Yan, diniscuss na yan last time ng earlier reporters about probability. When two random variables are defined in a random experiment, knowledge of one can change the probabilities that we associate with the values of each of the other. The random variable x and y are expected to be dependent. So, yes, since sa conditional, yung isa ay nagde-depend on the other. Knowledge of the value of obtained for x changes when the probability associated with the values of y. So, yung naturo naman na yun last time. So, we have here another example. For discrete random variable. So, yes. So, from the conditional probability formula, the probability kulang pala to. Ay, sorry. Yeah. Yes, tama. Kulang lang siya ng the probability of A given B. Yan. So, ganyan na mahaba. So, the probability of A given B is equal to the union of, intersection of A and B all over the probability of A. So, from this formula, ganun lang rin ang gagamitin natin sa sa joint probability, conditional probability distribution, So, yung example natin kanina, hindi ko na na-include yung table here. X and Y denote the number of bars of signal and response time. So, yun yung for kanina. Then, the probability of Y is equals to 1 given X is equals to 3 is this. The probability of intersection that all over the probability of getting a 3. So, if we're gonna go back to the table, excuse me. Yan. How do we erase this? Here. Oh no, nakalimutan ko yung tanong. The probability, yung tanong? Wait lang. Probability of y given x is equals to 3. Okay. Probability of getting 1, probability of getting a y is equals to 1, which is this. Ito yung, hindi, no, this is this only. Given 3 is equals to the intersection of that. So, nasa na intersection nila? This one. And what is the probability of 3? This one is the probability of 3. Since Again, marginal probability of single variable among the other variables. So, mangyayari lang is 0.25 divided by 0.55. So, if you want to insert that equal Q, 0.25 divided by 0.55, 0.4545, so 0.45 with a bar. So, how do we write that? Oh, nalaki pala to. Tayo sa tabi. So, the probability of y is equals to 1 such that x is equals to 3 is equals to the intersection 0.25, this one intersection, and this one, just sila nag-intersect all over the probability of 3, which is yun sa marginal probability distribution na nga. 0.55 is equals to 0.454545. So, with the bar na yan. Okay. So, ay, sorry. Natakbo ba ng camera? So, ano naman kapag probability of getting a 1 when x is equals to 2? So, ganun lang yan. 0.2 divided by 0.02 divided by 0.25. 0.02 divided by 0.25. 0.08. Oh my goodness. Sobrang baba. P. Ay, hindi ata to kita. May camera pala dun. Of getting 1 given at 3 is equals to 0.08. Oh my goodness. It's so baba. And then this one, probability of getting a 1 given 1. So we have 0.01 divided by 0. So baba. Ganun lang siya. So guess nyo naman na yun. Alam kong madali na sa inyo yun since probability lang ito. Kalimutan ko parang sabihin. Probability summation of this is equals to 1. And also this summation of this is equals to 1. Oh, so ganun lang. Ayan yung sagot. Yung na-compute natin kanina na 454 with a bar. And ito naman, probability of y is equals to 2. Ganun lang rin. So ayan, tingnan nyo na lang dyan. Ito na yung makita yung sagot dyan. Ganyan lang rin yan. Okay, let's proceed. Continuous random variables. Oh my gosh. Oh, the conditional probabilities for y given that x is equal to s can be thought of a new probability expression called conditional probability mass function. For y given x is equal to s, the following definition applies to these concepts. So, ayan tingnan nyo na lang yan. Medyo nakakaano na pa eh. Since hindi naman kasi ito gamit na gamit. Pero pinakita ko lang. So, ito yung probability of dito, getting y given x is equals to the function x. Ayan. Okay. And these are the properties that need to be applied. So, yun na yun. That's for continuous random variable. Basahin nyo na lang. Next is, how about for more than 2 random variables? Oh my goodness. More than 2 random variables can be defined in a random experiment. Results for multiple random variables are straightforward extensions of those for 2 random variables. So, dito sinamari ko na lang since medyo complex to and I have a hard time understanding this. Literally. So, sinamarize ko na lang siya and basahin nyo na lang yung mga formulas and other equations. So good luck. Here it is. Oh, did you look at that? So it is a discrete to. Joint probability density function. I mean continuous pala to. Ayan. I have a hard time understanding that. So baka kung gusto yung intindihin, you can just read out. So, sinamari ko na lang yung equations. We have also this one. The marginal probability density function of more than 2 random variables. So, as you can see here, I mean, pati din sa kanina, we have random variable x hanggang x sub p. Excuse me. Ayan. Hindi siya x and y. Since marami na siyang, other, yes. Ganun din dito. Ayan. Integral lang, integral lang, integral. I mean, sa continuous at, ayan, sa continuous na to. Then we also bear the mean and the variance from joint distribution of, more than 2 random variables pa rin to. We also have, lastly, this one. Yan. Basahin nyo na lang. So, other thing, independence, ito ay under to ng conditional probability distribution. Conditional. Kasi sa conditional, di ba? Variable y should be dependent on variable x. Kaya tayo naghahanap ng probability of y given x. So, we also have a rule for independence. So, nakalimutan kong banggitin earlier. So, we have that. Okay, so that's all for these joint probability distributions. We're now going to proceed to the next topic, which is the linear functions ba yun? Will be reported by my partner. So, thanks for listening.
Topics of our topic: linear functions of random variables and the general functions of random variables. Let's start off with the linear combination, which states that a random variable represented by capital X sub 1, X sub 2 to X sub p, and the constants C sub 1, C sub 2 to C sub p, or kung ilan mang constant ang meron ka, is represented by y, or linear combination y, which is equivalent sa summation ng pinagmultiply na variables and constant, wherein y is equivalent sa c sub 1 multiplied by c x sub 1 plus multiplied value ng constant 2 at saka ng variable x hanggang sa makarating ka sa constant p na minultiply sa variable ng p. This is linear combination. So for us to furthermore understand this furthermore, let's have an example. Let's say you are a farmer and you wanna grow corns sa iba't ibang field mo. You have 3 fields which is represented by x sub 1 hanggang x sub 3. Tapos, kada field mo magkakaiba ang hectares, which is represented ng constant sub 1 to constant sub 3. Now, yung total ng new random variable mo, which we can call y, since the yield from each field contributes to the total, we can represent the total yield as a linear combination, wherein yung c, ito, from our equation, yung c sub 1 natin is yung 10, at saka yung field 1 natin is the x sub 1. Ayan. So, bali yung y natin is equivalent sa 10 multiplied by x sub 1 plus 5 multiplied by x sub 2 plus 15 multiplied by x sub 3. Yun lang naman para sa linear combination. Let's go naman sa mean of linear functions. This equation po states that the expected value or yung mean of a linear combination of random variables is simply the linear combination lang din po of the individual expected values. In other words, you can find the average of y by taking the weighted average of the averages of each x1, x2, or xp. Tapos, using the same constant naman. Using the same constant. As in, sa linear combination lang din siya. So, try natin example. Kunwari, binigyan ka ng given na mean, average mean, average value ng x1, which is 10, tas average value naman ng x sub 2, which is 5, tapos meron kang constants na 2 at saka 3, kung pagsasamahin mo siya, if y is equivalent to 2x1 plus 3 multiplied by x2, substitute lang po from this equation, substitute lang yung mga value mo, yung mga given mo, and then you will have the mean na equivalent sa 35. Again, nilagay lang po, sinubstitute lang po yung value ng x sub 1 na 10, tsaka x sub 2 na 5. Yun lang po sa pagkuha ng mean of linear function. Madali lang yung mga example. Next up, punta naman po tayo sa variance of linear function, wherein we have two cases. Meron tayong pang general case at saka independent case. General case, independent case. Sa general case, yung variables mo is dependent. Samantalang yung independent case naman, yung mga variables mo is hindi independent, of course. Dito tayo sa pangunang equation. This equation shows that the variance ng y, variance of y is dependent sa variance na ng individual x or yung weighted by the square of the na nagko-corresponds naman sa constants. Tapos, yung meron tayo ditong napapansin kayo dyan na covariance between all pairs of x sub I to x sub j, wherein that was weighted by the product of the corresponding constants ng c sub 1 tsaka c sub j. Ibig sabihin, sa mga problems, meron tayong binibigay or meron tayong given na covariance between x sub 1 tsaka x sub I to x sub j na minumultiply naman sa constants ng c sub I tsaka c sub j na yung value na yan minumultiply sa 2. Yes. Mag-ano tayo ng example mamaya. Para naman sa independent halos same lang sila. Halos linear lang din siya, di ba? Linear. Pero sa variance kasi naka-squared yung constants. Tapos, dito naman sa independent, wala siyang covariance. By the way, yung covariance measures how much two variables change together. Ibig sabihin, dependent sila sa isa't isa. Yun lang naman yung explanation doon. So, let's dive further more para sa examples. Dumal sa independent case, yung walang covariance. Dito, yung given mo, meron kang x sub 1 na apples. Kunwari, nagbibenta kang apples. Kunyari, taga-palengke ka na naman. Meron kang dalawang product, apples at saka oranges. Now, yung let's just disregard this mean, since hindi naman siya magagamit, pero just in case na ayun, sa example kasi kasama siya dun sa nakuhaan ko. Tapos, yung apples, meron kang variance or meron kang variance of profit. Profit ito yung parang kita mo, meron kang variance profit na 4. Sa orange naman, meron kang 9. So, bali represented din siya ng linear combination, which is x sub 1 plus x sub 2, wherein yung c mo is c sub 1 tsaka c sub 2 mo is 1 lang din. Ibig sabihin, kung ilalagay mo man yung c sub 1 sa unahan, same lang siya kasi nga, 1 lang naman, mamumultiplied lang naman siya sa 1. So, using our equation na para makuha yung variance ng linear function ng independent case natin as for example, yung constant natin is squared natin multiplied by the variance na given plus yung constant nung pangalawa tapos multiplied ng variance ng oranges, which in yung 1 squared is 1 simply, ayan, 1 squared is multiplied by 4. Yung sa apples yan is sa x sub v of x sub 1. V of x sub 1 is 4. So, bali substitute mo lang yung mga value, makukuha mo yung variance of linear function na 13. Yan lang yung sa example natin. Sa independent case, so paano naman kapag general case na meron tayong covariance na ibig sabihin, dependent yung variables natin. May given tayo na temperature. This is daily temperature. Kunyari sa isang araw, meron kang isang temperature. Yun yung isang mong variable. Pangalawa mong variable is yung ice cream sales. Siyempre, kapag mainit, mas mataas yung chance na, pag mas mataas yung temperature, mas mataas yung chance na magkaroon ka ng mas mataas na sales kasi nga dahil sa panahon. Yeah, dependent sila sa isa't isa. Let's say meron kang given na variance for x sub 1 na 9 and variance for x sub 2 na 25. So, bali yung relationship nila is parang linear combination lang din wherein c sub 1 at c sub 2 is equals to 1 lang din. Let's assume na meron tayong given na covariance x sub 1 to x sub 2 na 3. This positive covariance daw reflects that positive relationship between temperature and ice cream sales. Meron siyang positive relationship kapag positive. Tapos, syempre, ilapat lang natin sa ating formula na ito, variance of y. Substitute lang natin yung value, yung c sub 1 natin, squared is 1 lang, plus, multiplied by v, variance of x sub 1, which is 9, plus c sub 2 squared, 1 squared, multiplied by x sub, variance of x sub 2, which is 25, and so on. Yung 2, as is, tapos yung c sub 1 natin, 1, c sub 2, 1, tapos x sub 1, yung covariance natin ng x sub 1 to x sub 2 is itong 3. Tapos, calculate 34 plus 6 is 40. Therefore, the variance of the total temperature plus the ice cream sales is 40. Naintindihan naman siguro. Right? Mean and variance of an average. Dito naman, ang pinaka bottom line lang naman is yung kukunin mo yung mean at saka variance ng magkakaparehas na kunyari magkakaparehas yung mean niya at saka yung variances, ibig sabihin, yung sa mean, pagpa-plus mo lang yung mga variables mo, tapos divide mo siya sa kung ilan yung variables mo. Yun lang sa pagkuha ng mean ng average. Para naman dun sa, para naman sa variance, ganun lang din, i-divide mo lang din siya sa p. Wherein yung, yung v of x sub 1 or yung variance na nakuha mo, yung mga variance na given mo is equivalent sa omega squared. Tapos yung value na yun, para makuha mo yung average na variant, magpa-plus mo lang din siya and then i-divide mo lang din siya sa p, kung ilan yung variables mo. So next tayo. Doon tayo sa reproductive property of the normal distribution. Another use of results concerning linear functions of random variables is a reproductive property that holds independent normal random variables. Wherein if x sub 1, x sub 2 to x sub p are independent, normal random variables with mean of x sub I is equivalent sa mu sub I, and yung variance ng x sub I is equivalent sa square ng omega sub I. For yung I is kung ilan yung constants ay variables mo. Let's say, kapag pinagsama ulit siya sa linear combination, ito lang din ulit yung formula, wherein yung normal random variable mo is equivalent sa mean ng halos parehas ang magkakamukha lang na equation, katulad nung kanina. Syempre, pag multiply mo yung mean, tsaka yung constants. Para naman dun sa variance, pag multiply mo yung variance at tsaka yung constants. Yun lang, try natin ng example. Suppose a machine fills bottles with soda daw. The amount of soda in each bottle is, in millimeter, is normally distributed with a mean of 350 ml and a standard deviation of 5 ml. Tapos you randomly selected 3 bottles. Tapos yung na-select mo na bottle 1 is represented by x sub 1, yung pangalawa x sub 2, yung pangalawa x sub 3, wherein each x subs is normally distributed daw with a mean ng 350 at saka standard deviation ng 5. By the way, standard deviation is equivalent sa variance squared. So, ibig sabihin, kapag ang variance ay squared, ang given mo is variance, pag kukunin mo yung standard deviation, i-square root mo yung variance. I-square root mo yung variance. So, dun sa given natin, again, linear combination, magpa-plus-plus mo lang siya. Since isa lang naman yung nila, like walang nabanggit na constants, ibig sabihin, it is considered as 1. Tapos, para makuha yung mean, substitute lang natin dun sa ating equation, we will get a total mean of 1050 ml. And para sa variance, substitute lang ulit yung sa mga values, we will get 75 ml squared. Okay, let's dive in naman sa general functions of random variables. Para naman dito sa general functions, more on like representations lang siya from x to y. Yan lang yung found out ko. Wherein suppose that x is a discrete random variable with a probability distribution ng f sub x of x. Let y is equals to h of x daw. Define that one-to-one transformation between the values of x and y so that the equation y is equals to h of x can be solved uniquely for x in terms of y. Let the solution be x is equals to u of y. Then the probability mass function of the random variable y is f of y, f sub y of y is equivalent sa f sub x equivalent sa u of y. Ano daw? So, for more explanation, for more clarification, yung x daw is a discrete random variable na may probability mass function o yung PMF na f sub x ng x. Wherein, yung y naman, y is defined as a function ng x. Yung y function ng x. Wherein it is given by y is equivalent sa h of x. Ito. Sabi dyan, yung function na to is 1-to-1. Meaning daw, kapag we get the 1-to-1 value ng dalawang yun, we can uniquely solve for x in terms of y. At pwede din nating mo-solve yung y in terms of x. Parang, kumbaga yung value ng x is equivalent sa value ng y. Parang ganon, 1-to-1 transformation. Tapos yung probability of y taking a value of small letter y is equal daw sa probability ng x taking the corresponding value of u of y. Let's say, itong u of y is equivalent sa x. Okay? So, bali halos equal lang sila. Yun lang yung pinapalabas ito ng general functions na nasusolve mo yung x in terms of y. Pwede mo siyang i-transform. Let's have example para mas malinaw. Dito naman is, kunyari daw, meron tayong example na yung x is a discrete random variable na may value na 1, 2, and 3. And yung PMF niya or yung probability mass function, tama ba? Let's check. Tama. Probability mass function natin is equivalent sa 0.2. Yung f fx of 1 natin is 0.2, yung fx of 2 natin is 0.5, yung fx of 3 natin is 0.3. Now, we can define y daw as a function of x by equivalating y sa h of x na x squared. Itong x squared, this is for example only. Like, you can make it as x over 2 or x plus 1, x minus 1. Parehas lang naman kasi sila kasi ibabaligtad mo rin yung equation. Kumbaga, kapag x naman ang given mo, kukunin mo yung y is magsi-square root ka ng y. Gets? Like, parang nababaligtad lang siya. So, ibig sabihin, kunyari, ang x natin kanina is 1, 2, and 3, right? Tapos, pag inilapat natin tong naging function ng x, yung y as a function of x, yung yung x is masi-squared. So, bali, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 2, 3 squared is 9. And then, para maibalik siya sa x, in terms of x, i-square root naman natin siya. Ibig sabihin, yung x is equals to u of y, which is equivalent sa square root ng y. So, bali kapag in-square root mo ang 9, we will get 3. And kapag in-square root mo ang 4, we will get 2. Gets? Yes! So, using the formula daw na binigay kanina, which is the f of capital Y is equivalent sa f of x of u of y. Ayun, substitute lang natin. Kapag 1, itong 1, yan, f sub y of 1 is equivalent sa f. Syempre, kanina sabi ko na kanina sa inyo, diba, na equal lang sila. So, bale, yung f sub y of 1 is equivalent sa f sub x of 1 na 0.2. Same na lang sila ng PMF. Pero this time, this PMF is y, for y na, para na sa y. Kanina, diba, kasi yung given natin dito is para sa x. PMF siya ng x. Ngayon, kung equal lang naman yung, katulad nito, yung nakuha nating values na f sub y of 4 is equivalent sa f sub x ng 2 is equivalent sa 0.5, and ganun din sa f sub y ng 9 at f sub x ng 3, we will get 0.3. Ibig sabihin na transform natin yung from x in terms of y. Yun lang siya sa general functions of discrete random variables. Para yun sa discrete, ibig sabihin, mayroon tayong saktong value na natakal na rin siya ng ibang grupo. Next tayo, para naman tayo sa continuous. Sa continuous, halos same lang, pero meron tayong j. Yeah, absolute value of j. That is called the Jacobian, or of the transformation of the absolute value of j. Wherein, this is a derivative. This is derivative. You can see that notation. Kapag may ganyan derivative, di ba? Yes. Which adjust the density because transformations might stretch or compress probability mass. So, para mas maintindihan natin ng ayos, I will give an example. Wherein the general functions of a continuous random variables example, let's take the case of x to u from 0 to 1. Wherein it means that the PDF is equivalent sa 1 ng f of x of x, f sub x of x is equals to 1 from 0, 0 less than or equal to x, which is x less than or equal to 1. Now, we will have the transformation. Katulad lang ng process kanina. Yung y natin, i-terms natin ng, i-equate natin sa x. Wherein yung y is equals to h of x, which is equals to x squared. Para naman dyan, Di ba na-inverse na natin? Like, inverse function ng u of y ha. Like, parang maibabalik natin yung x sa y at saka yung x sa y at saka yung y sa x. Parang ganun yung process ng u of y. Wherein, kapag naman i-compute natin yung Jacobian, magde-derivative tayo nung given natin kanina, which is itong square root of y. Diderivative natin itong u of y. Diba yun yung naka-derivative ito, u of y. Para sa Jacobian, which is equivalent sa 1/2 square root of y. So, differential lang siya. Para naman sa step 3, ano sunod natin gagawin? Syempre, ilapat natin sa formula. Pakalapat natin sa formula, diba itong f of x of u of y, nandito siya kanina, given siya kanina. Diba ang f sub x of x is ang x natin is equivalent sa u of y. U of y, kasi nandito yun kanina. Ito, ayan. So, kaya, nag-equal yun sa 1. Kaya siya nag-equal sa 1. Tapos yung Jacobian natin, multiplied. Pag pinag-multiply natin, makukuha natin na itong value na f sub y of y is equivalent sa 1/2, 1/2 multiplied by the square root of y, which is from 0 to less than or equal to y, less than or equal to 1. Yun yung condition niya. Thus, the transformed PDF of y is, ito na, nabanggit natin kanina. From this, na-convert natin siya into this. F of y na siya. Yun lang para sa general functions of continuous random variables. And after that, thank you! Yes!